I think early in my career, I wanted the best players. I've learned throughout some tough times that you want to get the good players, but you want to get the right players. And more importantly, you want to get the right families. You get that ingredient together, and that's when I think the magic happens. Here's how I know your attention to detail is so on point. I told this girl, this happens all. Every day you come to practice, your hair is perfect. It's slicked back. It is perfect. Your shoes match your headband perfect. You are always on point when you walk in. You are always on point. But you are not on point when it comes to executing basketball plays. You choose what you want to be great at. And I'm with the team in the huddle. And I'm looking at my team, but I'm really looking at the other team. Because the other team, the three coaches are all yelling at their kids. The parents are yelling at them. And it dawned on me.
Welcome, George Albanez, to The Young Athletic. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing fine.
You are considered by some the godfather of basketball here in Ventura County. Your organization is called 805 Family. And I just want to hear a little bit about how you got started.
Yeah, it was in 1996. I was in Santa Barbara. I was worked the Jerry Pym basketball camp, and at that camp, I wanted to be a basketball coach.
Yeah.
And I typed up a little flyer after the camp, and I decided to start 805 basketball. I didn't know what to name it, so I came down to two names in 96, and it was 101 basketball or the 805 basketball. And I just thought our area code was cool, and I did it. I got my mentor. He created the logo for me. He's still part of our family now.
Is it the same logo that you're wearing?
Same logo, yeah, same logo. And I love it now because 30 years. It's been 30 years. I can't believe it. It's a relationship that I've tried to quit. I've tried to get away from. I retired once. I gave everything away, and it just keeps pulling me back. And it's who I am.
Well, congratulations. 30 years is a long time to do anything.
Yeah,
especially working with kids and being so dedicated.
Yeah, pretty special.
It was almost 101, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was. I thought the 805 might stick. What was really cool is when the 805 Beer Company, when they started in San Luis Obispo, they sent me a letter, and they wanted to know if they could use our name. And our logo has the basketball, and they put the symbols inside of there, so it wasn't like a copyright infringement. But they asked for permission for it, so I thought that was kind of cool that no one knows about. Little 805 tribute.
The 805. So tell us, a little bit why you love the 805 so much.
Yeah, well, I think I'm a representative of everywhere in the 805. Originally born in Florida, but my mother's family is from Santa Barbara. Lived in Santa Barbara, lived in Goleta, lived in Santa Paula. My mom moved to Santa Paula, but she currently lives in Fillmore.
I live in Fillmore.
I live in Camarillo now, so I've lived up and down from Goleta to Thousand Oaks. I've lived in every single city along the way. Grew up in Carpinteria, so pretty much all I know is the 805. And there was a coach, a friend of mine, who really early in my career, he was talking about club basketball and how we used to go get all the players from other areas. If I didn't have the best players here, I would supplement it with players from Oakland or from players from Bakersfield or Fresno.
Wow, all the way up there.
We'd have Division I players just coming down and playing our program. But I thought it was really, he enlightened me to, George, why are we not coaching the local kids? The local kids need it, and I really bought into that, and it never left me. If you're in the 805 program, you can be from LA or you can be from other areas to be in our team, and it happens all the time. We have a player from Bakersfield who would travel, 2.5 hours to practice twice a week. They've come from Tehachapi, they've come from Arroyo Grande, they've come from a lot of different places. They make the commitment, but you have to practice with us. You can join us, you can come be with us, but we just don't allow anybody in the club. Like, you have to be from a local, and that's what makes it so special. A lot of these big clubs, they're not friends. They don't know each other. I like to say that I go to the local game. I see everybody. We go to the movie theaters. We go to the fair. These are all our family. And if you look at all the rosters here locally in town, there's pretty much 805 alumni represented in every school.
Yeah. So tell us, you've named it 805 Family. tell us how you cultivate family, how you've developed the family over the years.
Interesting. Now, when we first started, I used to do a lot of recruiting. I used to go out and I used to go to elementary schools. I used to put on shooting demonstrations or talk about basketball at the recesses or with the PE teachers, and that's how I started recruiting earlier and getting all the good talent to be in our program. But now it's not like that anymore. Now it's word of mouth. I don't even advertise where the teams. It's pretty much it's like a small club. You have to know someone to get in. It's more about getting the right people. And I think early in my career, I wanted the best players. I've learned throughout some tough times that you want to get the good players, but you want to get the right players, and more importantly, you want to get the right families. You get that ingredient together, and that's when I think the magic happens. Now that 30 years, I'm going to say probably like around 20 years in, I started to realize that basketball is passion. I love it, but I had to have a reason to coach. It's not just I want to coach. It's not about. Of course, we charge money, but I market value. I don't try to be I'm not the most expensive. I'm not the cheapest. I just ride around somewhere in the middle. It's good. But I wanted to get it's more of a story for me. It's like whose cousin am I coaching? Is it a player, a brother of an ex-player? It's one of my old I coach a lot of coaches' kids. Coaches will put the kids in the program. To me, it's a relationship. Do I have a kinship with these people? And every year, I won't even make a team unless I have one or two people that I'm closely some kind of relationship with. It just has to be that way with me. If it's not personal, then I don't want to do it. And I think that's how you change lives.
I think that's really interesting because, I feel like I'm the same way. If it's not personal, it doesn't mean it the same thing to me. But there are some coaches that keep a distance, sometimes a healthy distance from players and families. But you've leaned into it.
It's interesting, though, because it's a slippery slope for me. Because if you've been in this game long enough, you've got your heart broken. You've been burned. You've been let down. And very rarely does it actually work out where there's a fairy tale ending but a lot of the kids do get scholarships that we work with, and I think it's great. But most of the time, the players don't get a scholarship, or if it doesn't work out to their way, and you have to know how to navigate that with the families. You have to learn how to talk to them. And if you don't have a good relationship with them, then it's not going to go too well. Yeah.
So how do you develop, these relationships with these families? There's one way is I build a personal relationship with each player. So in the 805, if you come to an 805 practice, and everybody who's ever come goes to the same thing, we have a cipher before practice. We call it the cipher of this 805 cipher. We all sit in a circle, and each person in our program, practice player, regular player, and coach, has to say something about their day in 10 words. And in the beginning, it's hard. It's interesting for the kids because they don't make eye contact. They don't speak to people. They talk with their head down. They have 1 or 2 word answers. And one thing about me is I don't allow that. There's a saying in the 805 that you're going to be. I coach young ladies now. You're going to be a woman a lot longer than a basketball player. You are going to be the CEO of your company. You are going to be the leader of your family. You have to learn how to talk. You have to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to tell people the truth. And it's going to be hard. And that's part of being a teammate. It's part of being on a team. And this is it's way more than basketball. In my earlier years, it was about winning. It was about, winning the trophies. And we still win. It's going to be fine. But to me, it's how do you change the lives and building a relationship. It's interesting. In the beginning, when we first start talking, it's really small. And then if a player, there's some players who can't even get a word out, and there's another 805 tradition, you mess up in practice, it's 5 push-ups. You don't talk, it's 5 push-ups. And in the beginning, they get 5 push-ups, and then I'll come back to you. And I go, I don't think you understand. I don't care what you say. You can tell me what you had for breakfast. You can tell me that you didn't like your English class. After they get it, the best relationships are done in the cipher. Everybody talks, including myself. We talk about our day, so I know who has a history test. I know who had a French test. I know who's getting straight A's. I know who's having a stressful time because they all talk about it. But the difference is that in order to get players to move, you have to sacrifice yourself. And I have to tell them about my day. And I'm honest with them.
And I tell them the truth. Do I get into detail of an adult life? No, but I do tell them that I had to go to work today. I had to do this. I had an appointment here, and you know what? My energy's not really good today, but I'm here. I'm disciplined to show up. And I think if you lead by example and talk to these kids every day, that's where the really the magic happens. Right around when we started putting the family on it is when we started praying. And so in every cipher, after the cipher, we pray. Before every game, we pray right in public. I mean, it's just. And I've never asked the parents about, is it okay? I never asked them what religion they are. It's from the heart. And when you talk to those kids every day, all my players, I can give them a hug. All my players, I can kiss them on the top of their head, right in front of their parents. Because I don't ever talk to a kid by themselves. Another way we build relationships is in today's fast world of group messaging or group chatting, the messages. And with me, I don't talk to any player by themselves. I put a group message for each player individually, mom, dad, kid. I send them, they get the message directly from me. So it's not with the team. Each family has a group of 3 messages on it. I have an ongoing message with all my players. So if they do good, hey, Maya did really good today. Really proud of her. Hey, we need to work on this, or we need to work on this. So I'm constant dialogue. Usually, it's interesting, parents will wait to talk to you after games, and I give them the rules before a 24-hour notice to talk to me. I don't have a problem with this. I don't want to talk after a game. I don't talk to parents when we win, and I don't talk to parents when we lose.
Right.
I've learned that lesson after 30 years. I don't get hyped up and start, hey, this kid's great, because they're going to want to talk to you when their kid goes bad. So I think if you build that trust and you set those rules, then it's okay. But what I've learned now is I beat the parents to the punch. I talk to them way more than they talk to me. I will call them after a random practice. After a game, I'll call them. There's no rule for me. I can call them so I'd reach out to them and tell them some insight about their kids, what their goals are, what are we trying to do. And when that happens, there's no problem with the parents. I don't have any problem with parents. Not one.
So you're really, communicating, over-communicating.
Over. So I wrote, you asked me some questions, so I wrote these in my notes. I say these to these parents, and I say it every day. I under-promise and over-deliver. So in the 805, for this year's 8th grade team, we are scheduled to have in my preliminary packet, we are scheduled 2 days a week for practice. Mm-hmm. We are a very green team, and this is the most inexperienced team I've coached in all my years, and no problem with it. We were at 5 days a week during the fall.
Wow.
And those parents bought in every second. I didn't charge them more. I didn't give them more time because I promised to teach your kid how to play to the best of my ability. And in order for that, we're going to have to make sacrifices. Coaches are going to make sacrifices. Parents are going to make sacrifices. Players are going to make sacrifices. Teaching them that everybody's gifted in their own ways, but you have to put in the hard work. And I think teaching them the discipline, the hard work, the accountability, and holding them to the fire. I'm a truth teller, and it bites me sometimes because I tell them the truth, but I'm honest with them. And when you can't catch the darn ball, I tell you, your mama gave you 2 hands. Use 2 hands to catch the ball. I don't understand this 1 hand thing, and it's really simple. And so they follow rules, and I keep on hearing from all the people that this generation of kids is lazy. This generation has a short attention span. This generation, absolutely not. I've coached for 30 years, and it's the same kids. Yeah. You have to learn how to talk to them. They're motivated differently. Their attention spans are a little bit different, but you can still get to them if you teach them, show them that you care about them, and give examples. Today we watched film. We watched film we didn't play this well this weekend, so we watched film. We watched it for an hour, and then we took it to the gym, took my laptop to the gym, stopped the play, and went over it in practice. And went over all the variations of all what we could have done. And this is what we did do. And look at your eyes. Look where your body. Now, I'm holding the computer, putting their bodies in positions where they were looking. You're looking this way. You're looking this way. Your feet are looking this way. You're not seeing man, seeing ball. You're not on the split line. This is what we're talking about here. So we are going to get it done. But sometimes now we're at 2 weeks, 2 practices, because the kids all play on their school teams now. And I said, we're not going to be able to do this the whole season, but I'm going to do my best to get you to where I think you need to be. The goal is to be high school players, and their goal is to be varsity high school players as freshmen. And the good ones, the goal is to be impactful high school freshmen. Everybody has their own goal, and it's our job just to try to get them, to help them to get there.
So are these girls mostly like, is eighth grade the first time you start with them? Is that the youngest group you have?
It's my youngest group, but I do have a very promising sixth grader. I do have a very promising. I have a few seventh graders.
But they play up.
Yeah, if you pretty much play for me in sixth or seventh grade and you play through, I think most of those kids have gotten scholarships out of high school. If they've lasted that long. I don't get them all the time. They're very special players. I'll find them and I'll work with them, but usually they have a work ethic. Usually the families, they support it. They don't get in the way, and they get better. But we have the junior high team in the fall and winter, and then once the springtime comes, then that's the main thing the 805 does. The eighth grade is our flagship team, but the main thing that I do is my main goal for the 805 is to get high school girls from the 805 area scholarships. Happens every year. There's a couple players this year who have gotten scholarships. There's already some juniors in our program who have been offered scholarships. We have a girl playing at Cal State Fullerton. We have a girl playing at UC Riverside who played at Westlake High School and Buena High School. They get scholarships. That's the main goal. For me, when I can get a family a scholarship, that's the most fun.
Huge. Yeah.
That's what I like.
I mean, free money like that. It's
In our eighth graders, I mean, not this year's eighth graders, but we have a couple freshmen that we have a freshman now from Oak Park who's got a scholarship offer, Division One. We have some sophomores already who have Division One scholarship, juniors who have, these are, so a lot of the, once you get to high school and you make it through, it's not if you're going to college, it's just what level of college you're going to, because there's a misconception with this whole world of college sports is interesting in itself, but there still is a level of college sports, athletics, for everybody playing high school basketball. And this area is so great because we have 3 local junior colleges. We have Santa Barbara down the street. We have Division I schools here at UC Santa Barbara. We have Pepperdine. We have Northridge, who are pretty dang close. We have Division II schools like Westmont. We have Division III schools like Cal Lutheran. There is a level, and I know every college coach in this area, and how bad do you want it? We have some girls playing at Westmont College now. We have girls playing at Moore Park College now. We have a girl at UC Santa Barbara now. There's a lot of talent, but just figuring out how bad do they want it, and what are they willing to sacrifice. And you're not going to have a summer. Yeah, you're probably not going to have a spring. Get used to it. You won't have a Christmas break. You won't have a Thanksgiving. These are the sacrifices that basketball players are making. If you want to have a break, take it in August, because that's just that's the landscape.
It's a different season than soccer. You know, our break is in the summer, and we go fall to spring.
Yeah. So, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's working out every day. It's being disciplined. If you're in my high school training group, if you're one of the, I probably train probably 3 players full time right now, and we work out 5 to 6 days a week, a half hour per day minimum. Half hour, like they have their high school practices, they still have their weightlifting, but that's the half hour. It's the discipline. Mm-hmm. So I said, if this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, if you want to go to college, it gets harder in college. You still go to college, and you're still going to have to get your half hour working. Mm-hmm. And it's just stacking the days. And I've been working with this young lady. She's been working with me for 7 years. 7 years, 6 days a week. That's not a coincidence that she's going. She has a Division I scholarship.
Yeah.
She outworks everybody. And there's a few girls around here who are doing that. So, yeah.
That's impressive. Going back a little bit, you said you've been doing this for 30 years, and about 20 years ago you sort of shifted from championships to relationships.
Yeah.
What other, like, when did you start building these standards for yourself? And also maybe where did they come from? Where did you get your ideas for these standards?
Yeah. A lot of it, there was no one that taught me how to do this. Mm-hmm. 30 years ago, there was no club basketball. There was no club anything. It was, in fact, carrying the weight for club sports was hard. It was I was the first person to ever charge in our region for club sports. It was $25 a month. I had every single elder mad at me. I was actually, they didn't allow me in the club. You're stealing from the kids. You're taking advantage of families. It's been very hard. The trailblazing was very hard because there was nobody else doing it, and I didn't have a father, or I don't come from a basketball family. I didn't come from anybody that played basketball. I didn't have any example to go by. I didn't have a soccer club to copy. It was just me and my thoughts, and how am I going to build this brand? And I could have called it George Albanez basketball, but I called it 805. But it was me and just learning how to manage people. That was my hard part in the beginning. Later on, was learning how to delegate. I was learning how to find good people. And then at the very end, it went all back onto I don't want a lot. I just want to work with really good people. Really people that I can trust, people who I know that are doing the right way, playing the right way, teaching goals. I think that part was challenging. But now that I got over that, it was just building my own expectations. What did I want to? I want everybody to know that the 805 is a place that there's players from. I find it very disrespectful. This is a cool story. In the beginning, we were sponsored by Reebok, we were sponsored by Adidas, we were sponsored by Nike at one time. So we've had some really good sponsorships. But I didn't realize that when you're from Santa Barbara, Ventura, we're just from here. We don't know anything different. But I didn't understand how people viewed us. I didn't understand until I moved from Santa Barbara to Ventura that Santa Barbara is just different.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it.
Totally
I'm
different.
from Santa Barbara. I thought I was just so, but I didn't see it until I moved here.
Yeah.
And now that I live in Camarillo, I didn't see how people from Ventura are different than Camarillo. I went to Santa Paula High School. I didn't understand. I moved to Santa Paula. It was a whole different world for me. And so understanding how how to navigate through the whole thing was a challenge. But after, I just cared about the area. Like, how can we tell the world about 805? And I like to say that I don't know if I'm the godfather, but I believe that no one cares about the 805 more than me. And I'm not the best coach. I've never claimed to be the best coach. I don't teach the best plays. I don't have the most skill. I don't watch the most film. I don't go to coaching seminars. I don't do that. But what I learned about in this business is that no one's going to outwork me, and no one's going to care more than me. And that I will go to bat against any coach. Nobody cares more than me in the 805 about basketball, boy or girl. No one puts in more time than me. No one it's impossible to put more time into me working with players. I train 3 players a day. I coached the whole team today. I work with 17 different kids today with the team and the personal training. It just means so much more to me. And what I learned is the biggest thing I tell the kids: you don't have to be the best. The goal isn't to be the best in 8th grade. The goal is to be the best when you're older. And 30 years later, now you're a godfather. 30 years ago, I got put down for charging, right?
Yeah.
I just stuck it out.
Yeah.
It's the trials, and it's been good, and it's been hard. It's been hard. It's very competitive. People, they all want the good players. They all want to be on a team. It's hard to find a gym. It's hard to make it affordable. It's hard.
Yeah. You've got all this, you got your whole academy. Where do you train?
Well, we use a local middle school here. We just, I try to just get a gym, try to get a good deal on it, and try to make it happen. But we've used everywhere. You name the gym, from the Avenue to the Ventura Boys Club to the Santa Barbara Boys and Girls Club to the Page Youth Center to you name the gym in this region. I've coached there. Yeah. Every high school has had us practice there at one time. So I believe it's like a whole community thing. It just depends on that year where the kids are coming from. Right now, our 8th grade team, we have Westlake, Thousand Oaks, Camarillo, Ventura, Oxnard. For our high school program, they'll come from Goleta, Santa Barbara, Royal Grande. It's like a good variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little harder than soccer because we just need a field.
Yeah.
And some sunshine.
Yeah. But those mornings, man. Those mornings, I talked to my assistant coach, and she came to a tournament. She had like an electric warmer jacket, and I go, bro, what's this? I need one of those.
Yeah, we're not in a controlled environment.
No, I don't think I could do those mornings, man. Those are pretty tough outside. It's cold.
Yeah, we were in the desert this weekend, and it was pretty chilly.
Wow. Yeah.
So, tell us, have you read the book by John Wooden, the little blue book? Because I don't play basketball, but I love that book.
No, I have not read it, but I have it.
You have it?
Yes, I do. It was gifted to me, and I do say one of his sayings all the time: "Be quick, but don't be in a hurry." I say that all the time. I try to take a little bit from all the coaches who were great or who were winning, and he was definitely one of them.
Who was your favorite coach?
I'm a fan of Bobby Knight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was two coaches that really had a profound impact on me, and like I said, I didn't have a father role model to teach me about basketball, but what I did know is Bobby Knight was a disciplinarian, and he was strict, and I watched Phil Matthews at Ventura College, and he was hard on you. He told you he was a truth teller. He probably used some words you probably wouldn't want, but I respected him, and so I thought that's how it was my first basis. Was I actually thought like being real vocal and loud was like the way to be, and I still am, but now as an elder, I try to not use so many 4-letter words. I don't really curse no more. I think I do curse once a season. I tell the parents and the kids I'm going to curse probably when it happens. You'll know. And but I'm not going to use these words. My mentor, who just passed away last year, Oliver Wheeler, about 10 years ago, maybe 8, driving home from a tournament. And this is my mentor, my elder, the smartest man I know. And he challenged me. He said, George, you have to be. I know you. Like, you have a good vocabulary. Like, you can talk. Like, I think you can. I challenge you to be more articulate with your words. I think you're at a place in your life where you don't have to demean people by using these words. I think you're better than that. Mm-hmm. And he was right. And I'm a grandfather now, so I like. But my old players say, "Oh, you're soft on these kids." And
oh, really?
And I think I am, but I also think that I can get what I want. I can get them to move in other ways. Mm-hmm. And that's the challenging part. That's why I think coaching is so fun. It's just finding different ways to motivate this generation of kids. Mm-hmm. They all want it. They still want it. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to be in the newspaper or be on Instagram or wherever they're going to be. It's just teaching them what the path is and what the way is to do it.
And how much sacrifice it takes.
Yeah. And teaching the kids, the parents. Teaching the parents. Mm-hmm. And it goes as far as teaching the kids, like, you realize that you have to be here 10 minutes before you're supposed to be here. Like, if we're here, like, for club games, it used to be, to me, I used to be an hour. But be here half hour early. Yeah. But you should probably be here 15 minutes before the half hour because I'm here earlier than you because I have to be. I want to make sure I set the tone. We'll even do shoot-arounds. If we have like a 10 a.m. game, we'll have a shoot-around at 8 a.m. just in a park just to get them ready. Like, this is what we're trying to train you for. What's your goal? Your goal is to play college basketball. Just know that if you have a 7 o'clock game, you're going to have a 10 a.m. walkthrough. You're going to, and then you play at 7 o'clock. Warm-ups start at 5. You're on the court rolling. You're on the court doing all your stuff in a practice gear. Then you go back in, put on your uniform. Then you go back out. Then you come back in and put a sweat. You're working out 8 hours a day as a college basketball player. But then they think they can just show up. It's just practice. Like, these habits start in junior high. They start with learning how to stretch. Like, I think our first 2 weeks of practice was teaching them how to get in lines, teaching them that the line they go together. It's just not by yourselves. It's teaching them that we all stretch at the same time. It's the same. You're going to be doing these same stretches for your entire career if you keep on playing. So you might as well just fall in love with this stuff. Fall in love with the process of being great. Don't fight it. Don't fight the hydration. Don't fight the sleeping. Don't fight the PT. Don't fight the icing. Just don't fight it. Just buy into it because you're just gonna waste time.
How early were you on those things like recovery and rest and hydration? Because I feel like those things are fairly new to the general public, mm-hmm. but maybe more specialized people understood it sooner.
Well, I think weightlifting has always been a part of it. I think the strength and conditioning has always been a part. We've changed it throughout the years. Now they're doing more bands, and it's more injury prevention now. Or before we used to just lift. I still think that's been going on since I played. Since everybody played. The PT is what changed. The getting the scraping, going to get adjusted. That's something I've been preaching for about, say, 7 years probably. That after each tournament, you should have someone, like if you play Saturday and Sunday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just know that every Monday you should be getting PT. And everybody should have a person. I have a person in Santa Barbara. We have a person here in Ventura. I have a person in Camarillo. Like throughout the years, I just have each community. I know someone who does that, and so I just tell the kids, make sure you go get checked. If you hurt your ankle injury protocol, call Ralph Wilson. He'll take care of you. Call someone else. He'll take care of you locally. Just people that you go to. You have to have all these people on your team, and I think that changed within the last 5 years for sure.
Yeah.
Specialized training has been like
It's huge.
super.
Yeah.
I think there's different levels of it. I don't think anybody means bad. I think everybody means well. The thing that detours me from the group training is that I call them. I'm not a karate person. My uncle is, but he'd probably get mad at me. But they're like karate classes where everybody's learning the same thing. And that's really good at some points, but like there's different levels of talent, and it needs to be more structured towards the player. And when I see group training where everybody's doing the same thing, it's like, I don't know if that's kind of the training I want. I want maybe no more than 3 people, a lot of one-on-one, a lot of one-on-2, and then it's working on skill development, working on hand placement, working on footwork, working on stuff that you're not good at. But I think the biggest thing that I'm seeing in training is I don't see trainers who train these kids at the games watching the players they play, that they train. I have a huge problem with this.
Interesting.
You don't go watch the trainers. How do you know how they play?
Yeah.
How do you know what they do?
Because practice is different than games.
So you're training with no defense. You're training without having to run a play. You're training so I'll tell the kids, this is a good example, I'll tell the kids, what do you think you do more in basketball? Shoot, pass, or dribble? And most of the kids say dribble. Most of the kids say shoot. And I said, you're absolutely crazy. There's 5 players and there's 1 ball. You pass the ball 5 to 6. A good player passes the ball 5 to 6 times per shot. The good player. Like some of you role players, you may only get 5 shots in the game. But you're going to play defense and touch the ball and move the ball and take out the ball, and you're going to be touching the ball. You have to learn how to pass and catch a ball more than you have to learn how to shoot and dribble. So it's just like different kinds of concepts that we have to teach kids and teaching them how to play. And then you're playing against cones, or you're not reading defenses. So I think that the next step that I'm trying to do in my family is the film doesn't lie. Teaching them how to watch film, not just telling them to watch film. Yeah. I don't really care how everybody else does it, but I'm not going to tell someone to watch a film because they're not going to watch film the way you should watch film. Right. You watch a film with me, my player watched a film with me, we watched a half and it took us an hour and 15 minutes. Because we're rewinding where your feet should be, where you were looking, who's open, who's in help side to the left. I was just watching a film with one of my players, and she said, "Dang, I didn't realize that I predetermined where I was going to the small side of the court. I'm going to the small side. I didn't look at. I need to read the defense more." Yeah. And she goes, "Well, why didn't she?" She goes, "Because that's my move. I was going to my move." And I go, "Yeah, but," she goes, "Yeah, okay, I get it now." So I think watching film and helping these kids, building a relationship with them to grow. I tell the players that I work with, it's good to go get a lot of training from different places, and I value trainers. But if you're going to go work with this person, go there for a while. Go there for about a month. Work with them. Really get what they're teaching and take it from them, and then go to the next one and really work with them. But when you just keep on going to this trainer or this workout and this, and then I don't see I don't see them evolving. Yeah. And I think this goes by just building a relationship with whoever you work with. And there's nothing that makes me my heart warm more than when I see a parent working with a kid at a gym that I'm at. I always will go up to that parent and give them a fist and I love what you're doing. Because most parents, they drop off the kids to work with trainers because they don't have time, and I understand that. But when I see a parent who doesn't even know as much as the trainers, like they know their kid better than the trainer knows their kid. They can get their kid to move. To me, it's not the best coaches aren't the best people who know how to teach. The best people, the best coaches are the people who can communicate and talk to their players and get them to move with just our words. Yeah. To me, that's the magic. When you can, I find how can I cut the fat off of it and go straight to helping them to get to where they want to go with the least amount of words. So the least amount of, I don't need to run you into the ground to get you to learn a lesson. I can tell you a story about themselves.
People love stories.
And so I tell the 8th graders, I'm just telling them about attention to detail. Like we have to have a high attention to detail with our screens, with receiving screens, with the box outs, with our help side. We're just details. I said, but it's amazing to me because you don't. I stopped it and I go, no. Raise your hand if you get straight A's. And I'm going to say, out of the group, I think only 2 didn't raise their hand. These are all good kids in families, so they're all good. They all have tutors. They're great kids. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm going to let you know. You got straight A's? And he goes, yeah. What would happen if you got a B? It probably wouldn't be good. My parents would be mad at me. And you probably wouldn't be at practice, would you? She goes, probably not. I go, okay. You're getting a D in passing in basketball. And I looked right at the parent. They are failing shooting in basketball. Yeah. So you tell me, because you do have attention to detail, and I'll say, here's how I know. Because you get straight A's. That means you know how to study. You are choosing not to study basketball, which I'm okay with. But don't tell me that, don't give me excuses, because you're choosing. Here's how I know your attention to detail is so on point. I told this girl, this happens all. Every day you come to practice, your hair is perfect. It's slicked back. It is perfect. Your shoes match your headband perfect. You are always on point when you walk in. You are always on point. But you are not on point when it comes to executing basketball plays. You choose what you want to be great at. And you are choosing to fail basketball. Don't get mad when these people are getting awards and scholarships for sports and you didn't get one. Because you're going to get one, and whatever you put, you're going to be the Instagram person. You're going to be you're going to get straight A's. You're going to be our next doctor. That's cool. But in order to be the basketball player, you have to. There's a whole. So how much math homework do you have today? She goes, well, half hour. How much English? Probably like 20 minutes. So 3 classes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. And I go, how much dribbling did you do today? How much shooting you do today? Do you go run some sprints? You go do some jump rope? You do some push-ups? And he goes, these are all the different classes in basketball that you have to be touching every day. Now, you don't have to do it for the whole day, but you should wake up and do some push-ups. You can go home, you can do some stretching. You can do some jumping jacks in between. You can get to the practice early to get to the court to get some shots up for 20 minutes a day. That's how you get better. You don't get better by going to do this, workout on the weekends. It's the daily habits, just like brushing your teeth, just like combing your hair, just like getting straight A's in school. And these are the kind of, in all of our, announcements or whatever I put out, I always put 805 basketball is like we teach life skills. Basketball is just a vehicle that we use. And I didn't understand that as a young parent, but as an elder now, I've been doing it for this long. I understand that it's the life lessons that we're learning. And my starting point guard, she missed practice because she had a school game. She missed the next game because her sister had a game that she needed to go watch for senior night. No problem. She came to the tournament and I looked at her. You know that you can't start today. Love you, no problem with you, but you missed 2 practices this week and have to start. I'll put you back in the game, no worries. And she goes, I know. Making sure that they understand the rules. Yeah. Another rule is, I told the parents, in 8th grade, you're okay to miss a practice for a doctor's appointment. At the level that we're trying to get to, we don't schedule medical appointments during practice. My mom knew that, and all the parents that I work with, we should be teaching. I'm teaching this. Like we don't take them we don't punish them and take away basketball. This is what our sport. This is what we're committed to, and that this is It's not a right. It's our privilege. We have to want it.
Yeah.
So
As long as like, you know, the students or the players understand that what you say you want and what you're willing to work for are the same thing.
and if you hold them accountable to that and tell them, today we're watching film, and I said, we have a fear. Your fear of making a mistake. Your fear of being embarrassed. So let's talk about our weekend. Because let's talk about the elephant in the room. We did not play well. I want to know. Tell me exactly why. And I went to the players. Why didn't you play well? I turned the ball over, or I dribbled to the corner too much, or I didn't dribble with my head up. And I go, it's not important. It's not that we didn't play well. Why? Identify why we didn't play well. Take ownership of what you did, and we all did it. I made them do it. Take ownership and tell me why you didn't play well. And after we admit it and own it, after we acknowledge it, it's out there, now we can find how we're going to fix it. And I said, and I'm about the solution. And we don't have to be the best to be this. We have to find a solution. So I said, we watched film last time. We've watched film before. We've done these practices. So now I'm going to change it. I've never done this before in my life. I'm going to hold the laptop, and we are going to go on the court. We're going to watch it together, and then I'm going to go show you exactly where you were, and we are going to walk through all the scenarios. In my 30 years, I've never done that, holding a laptop on the court, telling people where to go. And they've never done it. And I go, this is the level of a commitment I have to you guys getting better. I will change everything I do to make it work. And there's no excuses here. I'm not going to feel sorry that we're not as good this year. I'm not going to feel sorry because we couldn't score. No, we need to be better. And let's figure out how we're going to get it. And I think if you teach them those things, and they know that they've never done those before, I go, it's okay to fail. In fact, you can't get better until you fail. But if you keep on failing, that's the definition of insanity. You're going to do the same thing over and over again? No. And so I in their notes, they had the right notes today. And I said, I'll write this down. In order to get something you've never had, I said, you've never had a jump shot. You've never been able to dribble left. You can't dribble with your head up. You have to do something you've never done. I said, write it down. And I said, they are to write it down. In order to get something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. So what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to learn how to shoot? How many misses are you willing to have until it's for you to make one shot? Because it's going to take about 500 makes to get the one in the game. I said the best player and the best shooter in the history of basketball is Steph Curry. And he makes 40 out of 100. Yeah. And he's the best ever. And the best baseball player hits 3 out of 10, and he's the best ever. You're mad because you missed 2 shots? Like, sweetheart, girls, we shoot 30%. The assistant ratio, I mean, it's just teaching them these things. And
yeah, the commitment to it, you know, and to have the coach be, you know, so committed to it.
And yeah, one thing that I started, you know, years ago, just my mentors teaching me how to coach and how to be a better leader is I like working out every day. And so before every practice or before every training, I work out probably 2 hours a day. I'm in the gym lifting, doing whatever I can on the bike, stretching, doing abs, whatever, quads, pull-ups. I come into every practice sweaty, ready to go. Every practice that I walk into, I'm already good to go. Like, my energy level's already high. And I think that when I'm 53 years old now, I'm doing it. Like, the only way I've lasted is that these kids have kept me young. They've kept me, like, I've stayed ahead of it. Like, I've just been always, you have to bring the energy. And if you ask any of my players, you ask all the people I train, and now I'm always on it for them, you will never have more energy than me. Ever. I set the tone with the energy. And I don't care if they're 13 or 18 or whatever. Yeah, you can ask them all. There's nothing that they can do that I'm not doing. And I will tell them. Like, there's no way that I can, if they're jumping rope, I have to jump rope for them and teach them. If I have to teach them how to do high knees, we're teaching them how to, if I have to teach them how to jump in, like, these are things that you're going to learn forever, but, like, somebody has to set the table. And so whatever we do, I set the table, set the standard of it, and they follow. But luckily now we've had so many good alumni play. So now that we have players that are coaches now, we have a coach in the NBA, we have coaches at colleges. So I bring back alumni. I bring back players, current high school players, college players, coaches. They all come in, and I let them talk as much as I can. I'll bring someone in to talk to them because I believe it takes a village to raise these kids, and it's not just me. It can't be just me being the godfather. It has to be bigger than now. My daughter coaches. My son-in-law is a college coach at Westmont College now. So a lot of the programs here, the coaches were coaches in my program. They were 805 coaches, and now they've kind of branched out. I have no problem with it. I think it's great. But this is the kind of the culture that we've built here of like just high level coaching, but more importantly, like high level people.
What does it mean to you to see your players give back to the community like that?
Warms my heart. Really warms my heart. And it doesn't matter to whether you're a high school coach or you're a professional coach. If you are in our family and you're giving back, nothing. And it could be today happen. Like any day, I call an alumni to come help ex-college players, ex-coaches. Hey, can you come help me with this kid? I think you can help. Almost every time they show up. They don't ask for nothing. No, coach, you help me. Let me help the next one. And so I'm always teaching the kids that I believe that you have to pay it forward. Like the way this program has been built is one person passed it on to the next one. And there's little torches that have been passed. It's not every single year, but it's like this. There are certain players who have come in this area, and I could list a bunch of players who have come through that they were the torchbearer. And they were the best player in the region, and they kind of helped the next generation. They're the role model. And there's a few role models that we have now locally who played in our program who are the marquee players who are going to college. And these are the young kids who everybody's looking up to. And I'm telling them, and I remember telling these kids at this age when they were in 8th grade, that kid goes, that's going to be you someday. We're not training to be regular. We're training to be the one. We want to be the alpha player. We want everybody to watch us. You want to be that player everybody talks about? You got to put in this work. But when you do, don't forget those people back there. Because don't forget where you come from. We're from the 805 and own it. We go to college games and we'll have our alumni there, and they'll all take a picture and just, it's the best thing. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah.
What are some milestones for your club team? You talked about torchbearers.
Yeah.
There's has to be some clear moments of progress.
Well, yeah. First one right off the bat, you're thinking is the 30 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 30 years. So that's why I'm talking to you today. I think I've turned down every interview.
Oh, really?
I've never done an interview. I don't allow people to do rights. I just never did that stuff. But 30 years, I'm trying to spread the word. I don't know, talk about it. I'm okay with talking about it. I've been so competitive and so to myself. I just didn't think that was something I wanted to do. But now I think it's after 30 years we can talk about it. I remember after 20 years, I got to the 20-year mark, and I didn't allow myself to dress like a basketball coach. And I say that I don't.
Like with the suit and the tie?
I have a problem. No, not that far. Okay. I think that I want my doctor wearing a white jacket. I want my lawyer wearing a tie. I don't like when coaches wear the hats backwards. I don't like when when NBA coaches are wearing a sweatshirt. I don't like when college coaches wear sweatsuits. Like they're the example. They're the leaders of our players, our kids, and we should be setting an example. So at the 20-year mark, my mentor Oliver, I think I mentioned him before, we started buttoning up our polos. We started wearing hard shoes. We started wearing slacks, like in the club games. Like I just wanted to be like, this 20 years, I'm a professional. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, I'm a professional. This is what I do. And I just wanted to set the tone and set the example to like, when you come to our practice, when you come to anything, it's serious. And so it's not for everybody though. There are a lot of players like I'm too hard for. Yeah. They don't want to hear the truth. Some parents, I think my daughter Jayla told me something really cool when she was 16 and kind of blew me away because I was just naive to it. A couple of daughters, Jayla and Kiani. And Kiani was played at a high level. She played in college and played professionally. And I remember I thought my kids they all want to be hoopers. And they were raised as hoopers. But my daughter Jayla told me, at 16, she says, "No, Daddy, I hate to tell you this, but not everybody wants to be a pro like you and Kiani." And I go, "Huh?" And she goes, "Dad, most of the girls that play. Just I love basketball. We like it. But we're kind of here just to play and have fun and to like be good. We want to win, but it's not our life. Or for you, it's your life. Like ball is life in our Albanez family. Like my daughter, we didn't know anything. That's all we did, and it was eye opening to me that when I'm a boy and I coach boys, every boy wants to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not every girl wants to be in the WNBA. And it took me a while to understand it. And I go, okay, this is it's a vehicle. We are going to teach it. If you want to be a high school player, you should be in our program. If you want to be a college player, you should be in our program. And I think I can help everybody. But that was interesting. I think it was 2013. We had a really good 8th grade team. I think this was like a moment that I remember like vividly. I was watching ESPN that week, and they showed the number 1 team in 8th grade. They were from Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW. It was a big Nike team, and they were on ESPN. 4 of their players got all scholarships, and they're 6'4", and they're 6'3", and I'm like, I had no idea who they were, but I'm just like, this is the number 1 team in America. And they came to Riverside for a tournament, and we matched up with them in the semifinals. And it was funny. We were just a bunch of Ventura kids, and we had a girl who her name was Aubrey Knight. She ended up playing at University of Colorado, and she was about 6'1", but she could grab the rim. She was really athletic. And they had a bunch of girls grabbing the rim in 8th grade. And I can just tell you, we're just the beach team. We're really good though. We had like, I think maybe 5-6 college players on that 8th grade team. Our team was stacked, but locally it was good. We weren't like a national level team. And the ball got pinned in between the backboard and the rim, and I'll never forget it, man. Like, and they thought like we were warming up in front of all their fans, and they're a big group, and the ball got stuck. And I looked, Aubrey, go get it. And Aubrey just went up there and grabbed and took it off the rim. And they all, oh. Okay, so we started playing the game. They were beating us. It was an 8-point game. It was a good game. It was a solid game. It was really good. There was about 2 minutes left, and it got to a 2-point game. And I'm with the team in the huddle. And I'm looking at my team, but I'm really looking at the other team. Because the other team, the 3 coaches are all yelling at their kids. The parents are yelling at them. And it dawned on me, the best team in America at that time had never been in a close game. And their coaches didn't know how to act in a close game. For junior high is not the highest level coaching, whatever. But they had never been in the situation. They had never been they didn't have to execute to win the game. And I looked at our team and I said, we're about to win this game. They don't know what to do. They've never been in this moment. What are we going to do? We're going to go 4 corners right now. We're going to trap this ball. We are going to keep the ball. We are going to make them come out, and we beat them. Wow. And that day, and I made a little thing of we beat the number 1 team in the country, and that was a big deal for me because that day I realized that the 805 talent can beat anybody. But you have to have the right ones together at the right time, and we have to practice. We have to be good. But I realized we were just as good as anybody in America. And so when I'm training these players, I go, it used to be this mythical best player was in Indiana. They never stopped shooting. They're always shooting. That's the mythical. It's this kid in New York who's dribbling the ball between his legs in the snow. And I have the player I work with now, I said, you're going to be the hardest working player in America. You're going to be known for if you're even thinking about not shooting, Charisma's still shooting. And this is what we built. Like, this is how I'm teaching the herd and all these kids, like, outwork them. Because the goal is not to be the best 8th grader or the best 9th grader. The goal is to be the best senior. The goal is to be the best college player. And a lot of the kids are in the short game. I believe in the long game, the long investment. That a lot of kids, when they're young, their dads were coaches. They taught them how to play. They were bigger and faster than everybody else. But when it's all said and done, and you're 18, and that kid stayed at 5'7" or 5'6", and one kid went to 6 foot, I'm sorry, it just changes. And I'm trying to prepare them for it. It's not for everybody, but like, play the long game, and then play. It's hard to tell a kid that you're going to be really small. Like, you should probably be working on your point guard skills and not your shooting skills. I mean, everybody knows how to shoot, but like, you don't want to be the scorer because you have to facilitate and score now and guard the ball. But a lot of the times, the best player doesn't guard the best person. They just score. They're just certain roles. And I said, really, like those players, they don't make it as far because they haven't developed all the other skill sets. And that's what happens in the smaller town when they don't stack the teams. You're able to develop skill sets that you would never be able to. You're a leader. You're the leading scorer. You handle the ball. You guard the best player. You hit the big shot. You take out the ball to get the best. Like these are the small school basketball, and this is what we have in our community. And I think there's just so much talent.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason for this podcast. It's called The Young Athletic, but it's featuring the talent of the 805. We have enough.
We have enough in multiple sports.
Yeah. Yeah, soccer's huge, too, in this community.
Well,
As I'm sure you've probably figured out.
And volleyball.
And volleyball.
And volleyball. I want to get some volleyball players. It's just hard to get them to come over and play basketball. So I think we have to figure out how to do I've done it a few times. I've taken some volleyball players and I've taken some soccer players, some really good soccer players and some really good volleyball players. And there's a strategy that you can try to get these players it's not a secret. It's very demanding practice. Like it's a college level like atmosphere in practice. We go from drill to drill. I'm hard on them, I'm disciplined. But whenever I get these special multi-sport players, let's put the music on. Let's make sure that they get some skill work over there. Like it's a little bit less to kind of bring them in. I don't take it too far, but I do make it enticing for them to want to come play. And then it has worked a few times. We've got some people who are Division I volleyball players to switch over, and soccer players currently who are just making that little change. And yeah, they're probably going to be better with the other sport, but like I just give it a chance because like I think soccer players are the best defenders. Like they stay in front of the ball. Like it's a nightmare. Like they never get shook. I'm like, so we need some soccer players to learn how to dribble and shoot, right? And we need some basketball players to go over there and hit some headers.
Yeah, interesting. You mentioned right before we started that you had a relationship with Nike when you first started, and Jordan.
Interesting. When I first started the 805, I wanted to work basketball. I wanted to be a coach. And Bob Purdy, I was coaching at Santa Barbara High School at the JV team and helping him with the varsity, and he got me a job with Jerry Pym over at UC Santa Barbara when he was coaching. And Jerry, I worked 2 Gaucho men's camps, 2 weeks in a row. And after the second day, he said, "George, I don't know what it is about you. I like you, and I think you're good at this. Do you want to come back another week?" And so I came back another week. I think I was making like $250 or something for the week. It was great. I got to be in the locker room every week. I got the T-shirt. I was in heaven. And after the second week, he says, "Hey, Michael Jordan's going to be having a camp here next month, and he just called me and he wants to have some coaches, some players be the coaches, the counselors. But I'm going to nominate you. Would you mind?" And I go, "Well, yeah." I want to work the Michael Jordan camp. So we worked the Michael Jordan camp, but what they didn't know is I had just came off of working the Gaucho camp at UCSB the 2 weeks before the camp. So I knew the logistics of UCSB and how the camps worked. And first day of Michael Jordan camp, was 550 kids there. We're at the Tropicana, and there's no lines. They don't know where the phone's at. They don't know how to get the kids from the gym to the thing. It wasn't the most organized camp. It was the first year. They were just trying to get their feet wet. And we're working the camp, and that night, after the first night of the camp, all the coaches had dorms, and they used to bring in like the players from Duke and future NBA players, and there was a lot of guys, future stars. They were working this camp with us. And I went home that night, and I don't know what happened. I don't know how. I'm not a writer. I'm not a computer person at that time. I'm not techie at all. I don't understand anything. And I was inspired. It was a Jerry Maguire story. I felt compelled. I was literally drawn to. I wrote an 8-page overview of the Michael Jordan camp that night. Typed it, printed it, walked into camp the next morning, showed up, walked up to George Raveling, who was the Nike world director of basketball at that time, director of the camp. I said, "Hey, Coach, I had some thoughts about the camp. Hope you don't mind. Just wanted to share them with you." Took the biggest, handed it to him. And I handed it to him, and I put my head down and walked away, and I went all the way upstairs at the Thunderdome, and I'm upstairs. and my best one of my good friends, and we're sitting there, and I'm watching him sit down, and he opens the first page and he reads it, and he reads another one, and he goes to the back page and he reads it, and he rolls it up, and his son's next to him. He's a kind of like the assistant director, and he hits him on the head with it, and he goes, here. And I'm like, oh damn, did I just mess up? Like, what'd I do? Like, I don't want to. What'd I do? I'm just nervous. I'm doing night check at that night, and I'm doing the night checks in the dorms. And coaches, I walked by his room, and he goes, George, come here. What made you do that? And I go, Coach, I'm sorry, I had no idea. I felt compelled. I don't know why. He goes, I like that. But what are you doing in 2 weeks? And I go, probably coaching. He goes, do you want to come work the Nike All-American Camp in Indiana at IUPUI? And I go, huh? And he goes, would you like to work the Nike All-American Camp? I think I want you working for us. And so Nike's going to call you. Our travel agent's going to take care of it all. And they flew me to Indiana. And, and 2 weeks later, I'm working with Vince Carter. And he's a college coach there. He's a college player at the camp. And I'm rebounding for him, and I'm coaching kids and the All-Americans in Indiana. And that's kind of how it all got started. They brought me in. They made one of our teams, like a Nike team back then. And kind of all started. I worked with Adidas, and I've worked with other companies before, but it all started with me writing an overview of the Jordan camp.
So what did it say? Do you remember what it said?
Yeah, I could remember for the most of it. I thought they did. I gave them some ideas on how to organize the team lines. I gave them how to get the kids from place to place, from the dorms to the camps. I gave them some ideas about the demonstrators. like no one wants to watch this old guy shoot the ball. Like honestly, you could just bring out Michael, turn off all the lights, and have him have him just do a workout. I thought that would be cool. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of fun.
And it took a lot of courage to pass
It
that
did.
over.
I worked it like 5 years, and then that job got me into. I worked the Kobe camps. I worked them so I worked for both. I coached working with Kobe, and I got to have a good relationship with his high school coaches. And he would fly out his high school team from Lower Merion, and I got to train the Lower Merion high school team. And they gave me like this. It's pretty cool. I have good relationships, a lot of fun. Coached a lot of good players.
That's awesome.
But yeah, now I'm on the girls' side.
Well, it's awesome, and you're a pillar in the community. You're building these families. You're there for them. That's the most important thing.
Work in progress. I think that if I can still keep developing, still keep having open mind. Never want to be the coach who knows it all. I surely don't know anything. I just try to get better and just find solutions and just try to help people. I think you treat people good. I used to be super competitive about it, and I wanted to have the edge all the time. And that was a big talk about when the program changed. Big program change is when the biggest change I thought in the program is when I tried to walk away from it. I retired. I wrote a letter. I didn't want to do it no more. I needed to move on with my life. I didn't have a 401k. I did this for all these years, and I made some really good money, but I was a young parent trying to raise my daughters, and I was just living kind of like month to month. And I would save a little bit, and I had no idea what I was doing really. So I walked away and went and tried to get a real big boy job, and wanted to be like, tried to find a career. And I put it down. And I made a promise to God. I made a real promise. I said, if you provide me, if you can show me the path to get I called it a big boy job. Like, can I get like a big boy job with benefits, and I want the company car, or whatever that entailed. Yeah. If I can make real money, I'll give back to basketball. And I wrote a number down. I wrote a number. If I can make this, I'll get back to basketball. And I was pulled back before, but I ended up making that. And so that's what really changed me, changed kind of like, I don't need to do this. I mean, everybody wants to earn some money. It's great. I make money. It's not that, but it's not, if anybody knows me, I'm bad with counting. I always lose money in my pockets. I don't give me cash because everybody knows, like, George, put that, zip it, because I just don't, it doesn't mean that much to me. But it changed when I didn't have to coach to eat.
Right.
I used to coach for milk. If our teams didn't do good, my family didn't eat. So I had to win. We were always the best program because we had to be the best program because I couldn't get the players if I wasn't the best program. On the second time back after making this comeback, I said to me, that's not my goal no more. My goal isn't to feed my family. My goal isn't to have the best team. My goal is to give back. And so now I don't work with as many people, but the ones I do with, I impact. The ones I do with, they go to college. The ones I do with, they're the best players in these regions. And they all are, but that took some maturity for me, took some growing up on what's important to me. You sacrifice a lot when you're a coach. You know, you're people that sacrifice the most are my kids. My relationships have been hard. I'm a father figure to a lot of kids, but my own kids got to sacrifice, and it's been hard. And now that one's are coaching now, she's starting to understand it. My other daughter has my grandson Kyrie, and so she's starting to understand what it is to be a parent. And I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. And I tell young coaches all the time, like, just there's balances. Like, you don't have to go through what we all went through. Like, make sacrifices early. It's going to be hard to be in a relationship, when you're coaching, and that person has to understand that. But I think the game has helped me become the man I am today. It's helping me grow. I'm still growing, and I can't imagine the person I would be today if I didn't coach. Young coaches, they think that the kids should be happy to have us. And I'm telling every young coach, it's the exact opposite. You're actually winning. You don't even know it yet, but the resources that you are going to learn, the resources that the parents are going to be able to provide for you, you treat their kid right, they'll do anything for you. They'll take care of you. And this is you walk away thinking those kids won, but really you won because that's part of your family. You talk about family. It's family forever. When you've helped raise your kid forever. I had one of my parents, they were at the Cal, Berkeley, they were graduating, and he was giving I don't know this, but they were giving this speech about how he grew up, and he was talking about 805 practice and push-ups. Guy was giving the UCSB speech, and I had someone stop. They were talking about 805 in the graduation ceremony, and like they mentioned you, and I go, wow, you don't understand the impact you have on these kids' lives. I didn't understand. I do now, and so now I'm going out of my way to make sure that that we give it respect, and we show these kids how to do it, and lead by example. And I think the last thing I just did, now that it's 30 years. I've had a lot of programs I've been working on, but I wanted to start a mentorship program. I believe mentorship is the key. I know I have 2, 3 to 4 mentors in my life who have shaped me. Everything good about me has been through mentorship. They've helped me. I've tried to find men who can help me become a better person. And so what I've done now is the 805 current 8th grade team. I built a mentorship program for them. So some of the UCSB players, I connected them. There's a player at Westmont College that we connect with them. Moore Park College, they connect with them. There's a couple of high school players. So each player on my 8th grade team has a mentor, a high school or a college player that they look up to. And I chose each mentor to match a little bit of the personality. Maybe they're a big girl. Maybe it's their nationality. Maybe it's someone anything that they can get them to connect. And I said, this is way bigger than I can't teach a young lady how to be a young lady in basketball. I can teach you how to play. I can teach you not to be like a girl, to play like a hooper, but I can't teach you certain things. So I need you to feel free to talk to someone else. And I don't want it to be your parent. I want it to be someone else who you can look up to, because the problem with the good players now is in girls basketball, the best players, they're good early. If you're the best player around here, you were the best player as a freshman on your team. So there's no one to kind of like mentor you along the process. You're thrown in the fire. So to me, the way to do it is to have mentors, is find people to help you get to where you want to go. So I do it with coaches. I do it with my players as I try to. In the beginning, I'm trying to get you a high school scholarship. Now, when they're done playing college, I'm trying to find them an agent. I'm trying to get them to go overseas and play. I'm trying to get them now. I'm trying to help them get college jobs. My job now to my family, 805 family, is to get them a college job if they want it. I want you to be a recruiter. I want you to be a coach. So to me, you have to keep on giving back. So every time we placed, Cal Lutheran has an 805 player as their assistant coach. And I'm telling them, like, now that you're there, you can help the next kid from our community go there. Now that we have a person at UCSB, the UCSB coach from the 805, she's from Ventura, we can help kids go to UCSB. Like, we can take care of our own. And that's the legacy that I want to leave. I want to, like, keep on raising the next generation, because I'm not going to be here pretty soon. I'm not going to be here forever. And what do we leave from here? And there's tons of good coaches around here. They're all doing great. And we just want to support them and make sure that they know that they can do it. That's what's important to me.
Well, George, you're doing great work, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your wisdom. I'm sure people are going to love hearing it.
Thank you, man. It's been fun. I enjoyed myself.
All right, well, come back anytime, and wish you the best of luck with the rest of your season and your girls.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right. That was fun.